So my opinion is probably going to be closer to Lucas's than Brandon's on this one. The weird thing so I had the privilege, the honor, the courtesy of actually zeroing this gun on the first day, and this had by far the best mechanical accuracy of the pistols that we tested. Where me and Brandon both, he zeroed on the second day, we were getting like a fist-sized group at 25 yards. So like these three were one group, that three was another group. I'll take that all day. However, that was mechanical accuracy. Practical accuracy, when you put it on a timer, you're drawing from a holster, I got nowhere close to those results. This trigger and the recoil impulse and just everything, I could barely hold like AC zone at 20 yards. Now maybe I just suck, I don't know. But I did not enjoy shooting this gun for that reason, as well as the recoil impulse. This gun just hit harder. Almost as if there's like not enough spring built into the gun, or it's just too much weight or something, but it felt like it was like banging into your hands every single shot. And especially after shooting 600, 700, 800 rounds in a day, it just gets very annoying and just like nobody wants to shoot this gun. One thing with the grip size and even like dimension, it's the same kind of dimensions as a couple of other ones, but like the shape was very, very boxy. And I mean, I'm shooting a Glock, I shoot a freaking rectangle. It just felt weird. It was not pleasant to grip onto, a lot harder to grip onto as well, and just did not enjoy shooting this in the least.
All right.
But it is the most reliable pistol.
We'll get to that. Okay,
Spoiler.
Shut up. Spoilers so much. All right. So getting to the reliability, this is probably the shocker, is it was the most reliable handgun of everything we have, with a total of 2 light strikes, shooting the same ammunition, and only 1 failure to feed. So whatever magic juju they got going on with this gun, it is highly reliable, it's highly accurate mechanically.
Okay, so now that you've watched that, I was asked by somebody that I know that saw the video that I had made about the T-Rex Arms 6 micro pistols video, about maybe elaborating a little bit on kind of what I was talking about in that video. So I decided to actually use a portion of what that is said. Again, that is their video, that's not my video. And say, listen to what is being said, what you are being told in that video, right? If you listen to the video, there are 2 really important things that were said in that video, and they are that the Hellcat was the most reliable handgun that they shot, and it was the most accurate. Now, when you are shopping for a pistol to carry to protect your life, to protect the life of your family, your friends, those around you, what are the 2 most important categories that a pistol should have? Reliability, accuracy. All the other stuff, the shootability, the fastability, all the stuff that they basically made up and fluffed, is really just that, fluff. It's not stuff that to the average person who is buying a micro gun to carry and protect their life with really needs to worry about, right? They're running these drills and saying, well, I couldn't hit it at 25 feet as fast or as whatever as I wanted. These guns aren't designed to do that anyway. These guns are designed to be easily concealed, out quickly, on target. That's what they're intended to do. There's a reason that we have, you know, a Glock 43 or a 43X, and then we jump up to a 19 and a 17 and a 34, which is really like a competition gun. The reason we have all these different guns in these different categories is that each of them does something different or is intended to do something different. And a micro gun is not intended to, you know, be a 25, 30, 50 foot, you know, gun. It is intended to be an up close encounter pistol. That's literally what they're intended for. So from the standpoint of what is important with a firearm, reliability is number 1 always. Always, always, always. Reliability. It has to work every single time you pull the trigger. It has to go bang. And then accuracy, where I'm pointing and presenting that gun, are my rounds going to go there? Those are the 2 most important things a gun can have, and they have the Hellcat as the most reliable and the most accurate, but then when they go and score it, they have it as the worst gun on the table. So can you take a video like this seriously? Can you take people like this seriously who have clearly skewed data and, you know, made up some things and scored some things that aren't as important higher, and scored things that, you know, are more important lower for the Hellcat in order to get it low? I believe so. You know, at one point in the video, Lucas says, and I'm not just scoring it low because it's a Springfield. That's the old adage, like if somebody says it's not about the money, it's really about the money. They clearly don't like Springfield. They have a bias against them. They're obviously Glock shooters. So they're going to put the Glock up top and tell you, the viewer. I mean, the worst part about this to me is if you're somebody who is new to firearms, or you're somebody who is doing research to maybe buy your first firearm, you know, whether you're a man, you're a woman, you know, to kind of carry and defend your life with, like, you want good information. You want realistic information. You want truthful information. Now, truthful information is accuracy and reliability. Like things like you know, grip, or texture, or trigger, or sights, or barrel length, or caliber of ammunition that you carry. All of those sort of things are subjective and personal preference items. What aren't personal preference items are reliability and accuracy. Like, those things aren't subjective. So if you have a pistol that excels and is the top of the 6 guns on the table at the 2 most important categories a firearm can have, how is it the worst firearm on the table? And that's the biggest issue I had with this video, is because I believe in being unbiased. I believe in being truthful. I believe in trying to get good information out there that is helpful for people. And if I'm skewing data, or I'm, you know, making up categories, or putting more of an emphasis on this and less an emphasis on the things that are really important, then I'm not doing my job in giving you good information and giving you truthful information. And that's the biggest problem that I have with this video. And that's why after watching it, you know, I watched it and I was like, you know, whatever, that's their thing. And I was like, you know what? No. If you're going to make a video like that, and you're going to do a bunch of testing, and you're going to act like you're doing this as an unbiased, realistic test, then do it as such. Don't fluff it. Don't skew it. Don't do whatever. I don't know what the other guy in the video's name is in the OD green shirt that, as you're watching the video, is on this side, who scored the Hellcat a 6.5. I don't know who that is. You know, honestly, I don't even really care to learn who that is, because when that score came out, after telling me that it was the most reliable and accurate handgun on the table, I don't take that person seriously. I don't take their opinion seriously. I don't take their shooting anything seriously. If you're going to tell me that the 2 most important categories and factors a gun can have, reliability and accuracy, this gun was the best, but then you're going to score it the worst, it's just not a truthful or realistic video. You know, they say like, oh, well, as I'm shooting the gun, like the 13-round mag was pinching my pinky, so they knock it for that. But then they shoot the 43X and say, oh, well, I got slide bite from that, but it's the top gun. Like, anybody who's shot you know, Glocks and gotten slide bite knows it's far worse than having something pinch your pinky, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying fluffing and skewing and whatever. Like, that is more of an issue, and would be more of an issue for more people than something possibly pinching your pinky because of how big your fingers are, how wide they are, you know, where they hit the magazine, stuff like that. So it's important when you watch videos from people on YouTube, and whether they're channels that, you know, make holsters, or somebody who, you know, is ex-military, or an ex-police officer, or trying to be an influencer, or whatever. The most important thing you can do is listen to what is actually said, and not pay attention to all the fluff. Okay, so do your research. Go, as I always say, go to a range, go rent these guns, go shoot them, find out which one, you know, works best for you. Because I said, a lot of this stuff is subjective, right? How a gun feels in your hand is subjective. How comfortable it is, how much you like the trigger. When you're looking at the sights, how much you like the sights. what caliber of ammunition, how much you like the cocking serrations, whether it be, you know, the ones on the back or the ones on the front. Like, all of those things are pretty subjective. Even recoil is subjective, right? They say, well, this was the hardest recoiling gun on the thing. Well, I've shot most of these guns, and I don't agree with that, because I believe recoil is a subjective category. So do your own research. Go rent these guns. Go put them in your hand at a gun shop and figure out which one feels best to you. Don't just go, hey, oh, these guys that own this huge holster manufacturer company told me that this Glock pistol is the best, so I'm going to rush out and get that. Like, think about it this way. If you were buying a car and they said, hey, this car gets the best gas mileage, it's the most reliable, it's not in the shop as often as this car is, but this car, you know, has the name brand and, you know, whatnot, go with this one. Would you buy this car over that car? No, you wouldn't. So why would you do that with a handgun that you're going to buy and protect your life with, right? Think about it this way. He said that the Hellcat had 3 total malfunctions and the Glock had 12. Now, if you multiply that by 3, that's 9 and 36. You multiply it by 4, it's 12 and 48. Like, that's a huge difference in malfunctions. For Glock being perfection and reliability being Glock shtick, right? There are many gun manufacturers who are making better guns out of the box than Glock that are just as reliable, if not more reliable, because you heard it in their video, that are the same price or less. It doesn't have to be necessarily always be Glock. Glock's always going to sell. Glock's always going to have its fanboys. Glock's going to always whatever. I'm not telling you not to buy a Glock. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you not to go buy any of the guns that they have on the table, because they do work. They're good guns. But if you're going to make a video and tell the average person, maybe a new shooter, to go buy this gun over this gun based upon our scores, when the 2 most important categories, this gun that you rated last is the best in, that just doesn't make sense to me, and I have a problem with that, because it's not good information. It's not good information. It's trying to push more people to Glock because you're a Glock shooter. It's not necessarily giving them the good and the best information for them to go out and make a decision. So that's the biggest problem I had with this video. That's an elaboration on really kind of what I was talking about. And you know, my experience with the Hellcat is exactly what their experience in the video was. I mean, I've owned, you know, OSP, you know, regular. It's the gun that my wife carries. You know, we've shot a lot of rounds through them, a lot of rounds through other guns, and both prefer as a micro carry gun the Hellcat over anything else that's out there, because of some things that are subjective, right, that we like about it, but also the reliability and the accuracy that we have found when shooting them. And that's important. Okay, that is an important factor. Should be the most important factor. So that's it for me. Let me know in the comments section below what you think about this video. If you've seen their video, what you think. What you think about the Hellcat, the Glock 43X, you know, all these different guns that they shoot that maybe you own. What is your experience with that? You know, another point is, there's a channel on YouTube called The Armory Life, and Paul Carlson from Safety Solutions Academy has in the past done a lot of videos for The Armory Life, you know, testing out the XDMs, the XDSs, you know, the Hellcat, Hellcat Pro, all that kind of stuff. Years ago, when the Hellcat came out, I don't remember who the first person was, so you'll have to, it's, the videos are on YouTube. You can actually YouTube them and check this out. But they take a Hellcat and they run it from 0 to 10,000 rounds. And then Paul Carlson takes it from 10,000 rounds to 20,000 rounds. And all they do throughout those 2 videos is change out the recoil assembly and clean and lube the gun. That's it. There's no major malfunctions. The polymer isn't melting. There's nothing, you know, the trigger doesn't break. The striker, you know, doesn't break. There's no problems with the barrels or the slides or the sight coming off or any problems with the magazines or the springs in the magazines. Literally nothing through 20,000 rounds. There is not another gun that you can go on YouTube and literally watch them fire that many rounds through it to see how reliable the gun is that's out there that I found. You hear all these things about Glock. I've never seen it. If people shoot Glocks, usually they melt down or whatever. I've never seen another firearm manufacturer or another specific firearm go through that kind of testing on camera for someone to see. And so if T-Rex is telling you that it's the most accurate and reliable, I'm telling you that, and then you can go and watch those kind of videos. How was it the worst gun on the table? You just have to ask yourself these little questions. And that's why it's important to actually listen, do research, and not just take something you're being sold as the truth. That's how I feel about it. That's how I try and run this channel. Everything that I review, everything that I show you is all my honest opinion on it, having bought it myself, not being given it, using it in real world applications, and trying to give you the best information possible so you can make the best decision for you. So that's it for me. Again, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. I always appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. And until the next one, I'm out of here.